I was just like, I just wanted to be sure that I got you the book cover and everything because I was like, I mean, if you're going to do the interview and it's going to be published sometime between now and April, then
Oh,
might as well just go ahead.
I intend by the end of the month.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
Yes.
that's the cover reveal, actually. I haven't revealed it. So go for it. I'm excited about it. I'm so excited.
I did not realize that you. Okay, I did not realize that you hadn't revealed it quite yet. Oh my God. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Listening to the Voices in Our Heads, where creative minds get together and talk about their creative processes. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references. Alongside the raw stories, my characters, there we go, weave throughout time and space. I help other soul bards and creatives get back to doing what they love most, and sometimes it involves getting together with other creative people and nerding out in different ways. And this is one of the few ways I like to do that on this channel and among other places in social media. Today, I just got news that we're doing a cover reveal, apparently. Surprise! If you saw the thumbnail. And I have the two epic authors behind said cover backstage with me, and we know and adore them both. Welcome to Rachel D. Adams and Dawn McClellan. Let's go ahead and get started. Our first question, which is introduce yourselves, my friend. You two pick the order. I'm sure you've done this before.
Okay. I'll go first. Let's see. I'm Rachel Adams, by the way. I go by Rachel D. Adams because if I didn't do that, then the internet would pick up all kinds of other Rachel Adamses. I had to make some adjustments there on my author name.
I was going to say one of them's also a redhead and rather famous, if I'm correct.
Yeah, exactly. I get that a lot. It's like, oh, like Rachel McAdams. I'm like, yeah. No, that's not me. um, oh, what do you want to know about me? I came from the South. I was born and raised in Alabama. And when I started writing, like I always told stories and I always had a great imagination. So I got into lots of trouble. And so what I could see around me, what I saw happening around me versus what was really happening around me as I kind of got older, I started writing about that. And I also just started writing about the things that I imagined and the things that I saw around me that other people didn't seem to understand. And so that's how my writing grew. I think my first actual story, like written down story, was when I was 11 years old.
Wow. So that's I'm saying this as a former teacher. That's kind of young to have that invested of an interest. Did a lot of
Yeah,
those stories creep into what you're doing today?
some of them did. A lot of them got lost. So uh, my mom wasn't exactly a fan. So a lot of my stories got lost that way. But she was a fan of encouraging me. So I give her that because she knew that I liked to write, and she actually bought me. And now, um, this is before computers. I mean, my grandfather got me a Commodore 64, but I didn't know how to use it. So my mom bought me a little typewriter, and I think I got that for my 13th birthday, and it was like one of my favorite ever gifts was a little typewriter.
She gave you the gift of creativity. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dawn, what about you, my friend?
Um, okay, well, I go by Dawn McClellan. That's actually my middle name, but it's not my first name. But my first name is Christina, but I go by Dawn for my writing. And I've been writing since I was about 14, and I picked it up in high school. Well, high school, junior high. Avid reader, loved to read everything under the sun, and just started writing just little short stories here and there, and got into writing in the groups and caught on with Rachel, and just found out that I liked it, and just been writing with her since. So, you know, I do it on a side. That's not my major thing. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse, corrections officer, and a little bit of everything else. But
Thank you for your service and your time. Sincerely so.
I'm a full-time nurse, and so that's why I tend to run late on some of the things that I do with
You're
her.
allowed.
So
Yep.
so she does most of our stuff with our writing on the book part. So I always leave all the major stuff with our books to her. I'm like, look, if you want to take it up and get all this done, by all means. I'll just be on the back side of it. I'm like the shadow part of it. So I'm
I'm
like,
sending her emails in the middle of the night. What about this? What about that? And she's like, I need to sleep.
and so you know what? As long as you don't mind my brain running on like maybe 4 hours of sleep, I'm good, because between work and taking care of like 3 or 4 households and the sick people left and right, and then
She's the
dealing with
nurse for the
insomnia.
family.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? She's
That
the
makes
nurse for the
total
family.
sense. That my high school best friend's mom was a nurse, and it was the same way. Somebody got sick, she had to go stay the night. Totally understand.
And then like her, my mom was very very my mom and dad were very encouraging. They were big believers of, if you can do it, if there's nothing you can't do, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So it didn't matter what we thought we could do. They were very encouraging. So there was nothing that they didn't think that we could do. If we thought we could be an astronaut, hey, we could do it. So there was nothing, they didn't believe in telling us that we could, oh no, there's no way you could do that. So they were very encouraging. My dad didn't have any boys, so he taught us to do everything that boys could do, we could do. So we're very independent.
Opposite my family. I'm the youngest of 5 and the only girl. So my dad said, you got to learn to keep up with the boys because you're not one. So
Oh, no.
it helped. But how you guys mentioned briefly how you met, and I don't think I included this there, so I'm sorry if I'm throwing off the pace of the
Oh, it's okay.
interview already, but groups, like physical writing groups, Yahoo groups, Discord groups, what kind of groups? How did you two meet?
Yahoo groups. That's where we started meeting.
And then MSN, it changed
And
to
then
MSN.
Mhm.
Good old MSN. Oh my
And then
God,
we
I
went
remember
to
those days.
then we went back to Yahoo groups, right?
Yes, it was Yahoo, then MSN, then back to Yahoo, and then
And then Yahoo closed down, so we've got a groups.io.
and then we went to the pads. There was those pads.
We went to the pads because we took our story off. But like we were in a collaborative group with friends that we had written with for years and years. We still know them.
Yeah.
And we had tried all kind of genres and stuff. We would just try different things. Well, this one story came along with characters that we had both made previously, but we thought, oh well, we'll just toss them into this world and see what happens. Well, our cohorts in writing got busy with life, and we were really excited about what we came up with, so we decided to take it offline. And back then, there wasn't a Google Docs; it was
No, it was
a frog
yeah,
pad, or something like
iPad
that.
or something
It had a
G-pad or
frog
something. It
on
was
it
yeah.
and called Pad.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
that's how we started the collaboration part, because we could both do it at the same time and
Mhm.
write paragraph after paragraph.
Those were the days though, weren't they?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Back when it was just you and a blank screen and a friend. Wow.
Yep.
So do you then read as well as like write the same genres, or do you have secret guilty pleasures that you may or may not tell others about?
I don't know. I think we're pretty much the same all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, I love fantasy, horror, and, like, anything in the fantasy umbrella, but I also liked, some of the stuff that had, kink, BDSM, LGBTQ stuff. polyamory, things, reverse harem, I think is what they call
Mhm.
part of that now.
Sounds like pretty much almost everything you either have done or
Yeah.
may have set yourself up to do in your
Yeah.
series.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm very eclectic, so I there's not much that I don't either listen to
But
or read. So
this was what, late 90s, early 2000s, so it wasn't as prevalent back then, but
yeah.
back then it really was a dirty secret pleasure kind of thing. And so when you read our characters now, it's like, oh, well, this is, you see this all the time, but back then you didn't see that.
It was
Which is,
kind of funny. It really
yeah,
was kind of funny because when we started writing it, we were like, you know what? I don't think we've ever written for male characters. Let's try
let's try
this.
it.
So
See what happens, and I can attest, good stuff
so
happen.
that's what
So
we did.
it sounds like writing's always been in your lives, and we have a nurse in chat. What other things have you done? I know Rach does other things with the hubby.
Um, as I mean, we do motorcycles. I live in Texas, so I'm actually from South Texas. So horseback riding. I'm a cowgirl, so horseback riding. Um,
Favorite breed of horse?
favorite breed of horse. I like Persians, and
Ooh,
then
good choice.
but I do ride. My little sister. We've had paints, palominos, um, uh, thoroughbreds, quarter horses. There's not many that we haven't had. We even had a Clydesdale. Um,
Oh
we've had
my goodness,
we've
there.
had
Oh,
buckskins. We've had. I mean, there's not much we haven't had. So, uh, I mean, yeah.
so do you currently have horses you're tending to among all the nursing and the caring for others?
My
Or
little sister does. Uh,
okay, so you don't
I
currently.
I don't because I live in town. I don't live in city, but I live in a small town, and so my yard won't let me have horses because I have a smaller yard. So
You
per
would
se,
never have to mow, though. You would never have to mow.
I wouldn't, but I don't quite have. I have less than an acre, so I don't have quite the room for a horse. We're trying to get back out in the country because I'm not much of a city girl. I'm more of a country girl. So we're looking to move back out in the country. I but yeah, we do motorcycles and we like to go out in the country and spend time out and just we're more of city or out country people. So if you think about it, that's what we like to do. We don't like to
Which
do much city stuff.
you two are very, very similar in that regard. Because Rachel, you all, I gather, you're not in like a big city, are you?
We're kind of in suburbia right now. What happened was I started off as a country girl and then wound up moving into the city and realizing I really like the city. So I'm kind of the opposite. I like the
Oh.
convenience. I like the being able to just run out and grab stuff and then come right back. And I mean, we have a tiny little half-acre plot here with enough room for the dog fence to go around it, and that's cool for me. I've done the 5 acres of land and all of the fun stuff that comes with it, and I've realized I'm just not that person anymore.
Yeah, see, we're more like I want enough land to where my daughter and my grandbabies can be on the property with us. So that's what we're looking
Ah,
at. I like to have my babies with me. So
understood.
yeah,
Understood.
I don't have
So
grandbabies. I have 3 adult kids, and I'm quite happy with them being where they are.
that's okay. She
And
gets to enjoy mine with me
but I
though,
get to
so it's all
enjoy
right.
hers, via the pictures, and I am always and will always be Gavin's Rachel,
Yeah,
or Wachel, his Wachel.
Rachel,
oh.
his Rachel.
So Dawn's grandkids, once they get a little bit older, it will be time for Rachel to be Grammy?
Oh.
That face. She said, "We'll see."
I have one kid that actually is talking about that he could see himself as a father, and I could see him as a father too, but he still hasn't found the perfect love of his life yet. So
fair.
we're
That's
waiting.
No
That's
rush,
fair.
trust me.
No
No rush.
rush. No rush.
No rush. It's okay. She
I have
enjoys
a-
mine. It's good.
I have a brother who, due to circumstances, he and his wife were in their 40s when they had their kid, and they said, "You know what? We're actually glad that we had him late. We wouldn't have been ready in our 20s and 30s for him."
I had mine at well, I was 18 when I had mine, and then so when I had my first grandchild, I was 30. So yeah, so you know,
My mom was lucky. She had an 18. She had her first when she was 18, me when she was 40, and her eldest that she had at 18 gave her her first grandson when she was 44.
Yeah.
So I have a nephew who's 4 years younger than me.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. Well, that's
You
my
know,
that's my
English.
that's my husband. His oldest nephew was like the same age as him. So yeah.
That's what happened to my eldest brother. He has an uncle who is actually 9 months younger than he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Big
It
family, big
happens.
farm family. That's what it
Gotcha.
was. So, what's your
Anyways,
biggest fear and your biggest excitement as an author then?
biggest fear. Um, I'm more of a recluse, so my biggest fear is getting up and talking to people because I'm not much of a people person.
You do that enough with the nursing on the
Yeah,
daily as it is, to be
yes.
fair. That resource gets used. That's fair. That's fair.
I guess my biggest fear has always been that nobody will want to read it or nobody will want to see the story or read the stories and stuff.
True.
So I was always worried about that. It's just it delights me when somebody tells me how much they enjoyed the story or how much they like a specific character or how they want to see this character do more, and I take mental notes of, okay, so we've got to do something with them now because at first we may have a story set aside that we've done little episodes of just for fun, but we may not have thought we were going to do a full story about him until somebody comes along and is like, I really love this character. Can you do that?
Is
Well,
that how we got Phineas's story with the cover reveal we're doing today?
well, I have to admit that's probably one of mine too, because that's probably why it took us so long to get anything out. Is because, we've been writing this for 20 years, so just between us, because
Yeah.
it
How
was.
many words have you written together?
Oh God.
I'm scared to look
Oh.
because you've got to remember, we also lost a file. Like we
Oh
lost
yeah.
That's
a
right.
full Word file full of stories. So I'm not sure. We've had to go back and redo from memory some of the stuff. And we still do have to redo some of it, especially in, I think, book 4, book 3 or book 4.
I don't know. I'll
So
probably still have a ton of it in my email though, because I haven't even
I
sent you
hope
all that I
so.
have in my Yahoo, because I have a ton of it in my Yahoo.
Thank you, Yahoo, for not deleting anything.
But yeah, I don't know. We've been writing it for about 20 years now. So but I she and I we just write it for pastime. So we never really intended to publish anything because I
You can thank my husband for that because he got upset with me because I kept spending so much time writing. And I thought he was like, I thought it was one of those situations where he was jealous. Like, you know how women get jealous sometimes of men playing too many games or hanging out with their guy friends or
No,
whatever?
not at all.
Well, so I thought that's where it was coming from, but actually we were in a Barnes and Noble and he's like, no, he's like, look around. He's like, you know what pisses me off more than anything? And I was like, what? He's like, your book isn't on a shelf. And I was like, oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
cry. That's oh my
So yeah, he's
for him to
always
say
been
that. Oh
supportive. He just
my gosh.
we just had a big misunderstanding about why he was upset. He was like, if you're spending this much time, and he's like, and I've read your stuff, so it's good. why haven't you published it yet?
That's
So
my
that
husband.
started it.
Yeah.
And she got something similar on her side.
Yeah.
So when I came to her about it, I was like, "Hey, so I've got the time." I think it was around COVID when I started
Yeah.
really starting to grab stuff together, because we had been just writing for fun from 99, 98 all the way
Mhm.
all the way up to COVID, and then I was like, "Well, maybe we should try to do this."
Yeah, because I lost my mom and dad in COVID, and that was about the time that we started talking about it. And
You really needed an escape at that time.
Yes.
yeah, so
It's been,
But-
sounds like it's been a good one for you. You
yeah,
got a
it's-
good friend there with you too.
yeah, it's my escape. I'll admit it. This is my escape, and I don't lie about it. So, you know,
This is, you call up your friend and say, "Let's go to Narnia," and Rach would know what you would mean.
Yep.
I always tell her, you know what, I could use an escape today. Let's do some escape stuff.
It's
So
like, how okay, so who do you feel like escaping into? And that's what we would do, and that's the reason we have a bunch of episodic stories
yeah.
about all of these different characters with Phineas and Gabriel right in the middle of it.
So, which works in progress are you feeling the most confident at current?
Which works? I'll let
I
Rachel start off. Go ahead.
I kind of think, because we something that a lot of people don't know, we decided to kind of rework the Dragon Tasker series. So I'm not feeling quite as confident on that one as I was. The prequel series, however, I mean, this is just from a technical standpoint. I love all the stories, but from a technical standpoint, we already have all of the stuff written out for the prequel series. So it's going to be a bit easier to put together. It's there, and it's also shorter formed. I believe most of the books are going to be around 60,000 to 65,000 words, so it's not as huge undertaking. Whereas the Dragon Tasker series, each book is coming out around 80 to 85,000 words, and you have a lot more going on. There are a lot more moving pieces going on. I believe that when it comes to beta readers' complaints, that would be one of the only ones that we've had, has been because when we first wrote it, it was just for us, for a hobby. So sometimes I slip up and forget that I accidentally put somebody a head hop to another character, you know? So that becomes a little more complicated when you're looking for those head hops and you're trying to get
Anime
rid of
taught us
them.
well, guys. Anime taught us well on the head hopping.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah,
That and
exactly. I mean, yeah.
using, so many words over and over again.
Yes, I'm guilty of that too.
She tells me that all the time. You use this word a lot. I can't help it.
Brain default. Yup.
What do you want? What do you want from me? What do you want from
That's
me?
why I come in as an editor and go, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do this
So you're
because I
just gonna
see it
have to fix
now.
it, because what do
Used
you
to, I
want
didn't
from
see
me?
it. Now I see it. So
She's just gotten used to it. She's like, I'm just not gonna tell her anymore because there's just nothing she's gonna. I just can't. There's nothing I
we
can do
trust
about
each
it.
other to that point that if she
Yeah,
sees something that's just not, or that's out of place, she'll just go ahead and fix it.
yeah.
If I see something that's out of place, I'll just go ahead and fix it.
Just
If
go
it's
ahead and
something
fix
that
it.
looks like it might have been purposeful, there we go, words,
Mhm.
then we know to get in contact with each other or to just say it, because we're usually on
Accounting for
Discord.
style and voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just highlight it and comment.
Just highlight it, comment, did you mean this? What are you trying to do here? Wait, I don't understand, that kind of thing. And we just go back and forth until it's perfect as far as we're concerned. So
Yeah, we're just very comfortable with each other. So
So you kind of went there naturally. So to keep it going, what are some ways you encourage each other? Like, for example, when the kids have just drained everything out of you, or the day job, or the spouses, and it's not even necessarily an escape. What are ways you encourage each other otherwise?
well, Rachel sends me little things in the mail. She'll send me a card with stickers or whatnot. Hang in there. I know it's tough, whatnot. I'll call her on the phone or I'll text message her if I know she's going to the doctor or whatnot. Hey, it's going to get better. It's all right, whatnot. We'll try to send each other things or call each other or just kind of touch base if I haven't heard from her in a while, I try to get a hold of her. Or if she hasn't
Same.
heard from me in a while, she tries to get a hold of me. Just because we know, I know she hasn't been feeling good, or she knows that I work a lot of hours, or I take care of a lot of people, or we got a lot going on here and there. I know the same thing goes with her, so we try not to go too many days without talking to one another. So try
That's a big
try
one.
touch base. Yeah.
I know that sometimes we get really, really busy, but we check in with each other. We also know that everything is you, me, and the fence post when it comes to
Yeah.
between us. So if somebody needs to vent or if somebody needs to say some things, then it's fine. And sometimes we could talk for hours, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with writing at all. It's just
Mhm.
what's going on in life. And what amazes a lot of people is I mean, we've met once in person,
Mhm.
once.
That was going to be my next question. How often have you met in person? Because you met
Just
online.
Yeah, just once.
Just once. I'm hoping everything works out this year and she could come to the Renaissance Festival
Yeah, my husband and I are
Oh.
planning to go up in April to the Renaissance Festival, but
because I've got
I
a
went up
booth.
in not this last October, but the October before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
October before.
We met in Georgia in the mountains,
Yeah,
right?
went up. Yes, when they put me on the side of a mountain, and I don't like heights, and yeah, it was a fun-filled adventure.
Hey,
Um,
you should be happy that you didn't join us for this past year.
but we had a good time. I went and hung out with her and her buddies, and it was a good time. So I hope to do so again. Um, it was fun. It was a good time to hang out. So,
Awesome.
but yeah,
Because you're the one who mentioned to me that you were planning a writing retreat get together with female friends. I wasn't sure if Dawn was included in the group. And I'm like, wow, you guys kind of have this is legit like when we say I have a soul sibling level bond with a friend.
Yeah,
This is what we mean with internet friends, people, right here.
it
You
really
guys
does
have
happen.
it doesn't matter that you've only been physically in a space for less than the span of a week together.
yeah. And whenever you say it doesn't matter if you hear from me in a month or a week, you don't have to hear from me every day. Yeah, that's the kind of friends we are. You don't have to hear from me every day just to be,
No.
a friend. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think
Awesome.
we've known each other long enough that our kids even know each other, and they've never met. And
Yeah,
yet my
they know each
daughter
other
still
from online.
gives her kids grief just through us, through us. My daughter will tell me something to tell her kids.
Oh my
So
goodness.
they, my daughter has, I think, one of her kids on her Facebook, I believe. So,
Is
it's
there an
just
intention to do a family get together?
I think it would be fun actually, but
but
it's
it,
it's a
they
matter of
just like to have
everybody
everything.
working crazy hours
Yeah.
and stuff.
The life of having adult children, I'm sure. So, bringing it back to fiction as we start winding down, what fiction related advice do you have to share? Co-authors, singleton authors, collaborative anthology authors, whatever advice you'd like to share.
Have fun with it. Do what makes you happy, what sends you to that place. And then if something comes of it, great. I mean, um I guess that would be my big thing is when we did this on the side for years and we're just now starting to put it out there. Also, just don't overlook it. I mean, if you're doing something and you're doing something consistently, and you just keep hearing people say, "Oh, it's just a hobby. Oh, it's just a hobby. Oh, it's just a hobby." Okay, you start believing that. So
You're called to it in a way to
But if you're
return back to it.
yeah, if you're obviously called to it, or if it's obviously something that you really, really love and have that much passion for, maybe there's more to it than just a hobby. Just something to think about.
And don't be afraid to put your own twist on things. I mean, because like, I see too many people say, well, vampires are supposed to be this way, or, you know, demons are supposed to be this way. And, you know, we didn't do that.
No.
I don't do that. You know, our vampires and our, you know, our lichen and our demons are completely different from everybody else's. And we did it for a reason. You know, I took our cultures, take your cultures and put it in there, you know, put your own twist on things and blend it with your own beliefs and take your own practices and put it in there and have fun with it, you know. So that's what we did. So
And you're lucky that you have this very strong friendship and someone you can always say, hey, knock knock, I have an idea to. Oh my goodness.
that's what we do. We do back and forth, and we take our ideas and just
We
like
to this
with
day
our
do
different
it.
things. Yeah,
To this
we
day,
take our
that's
different things and we just bounce them back and forth and come up with our own little plans for our deals. So it's not just one person says, we're going to do it this way. No, we bounce
we
it
talk
back and
about it.
forth and we go through it.
Have there been moments where you've had to say, for the sake of a plot, though, it has to be this way, and then you cite the reason why? Like,
No,
how do you handle those moments?
I don't think so. I think we've just thrown curveballs and we've kind of twisted it and worked it. I mean, I think the closest that we've come to go, you know what, we really need to do it this way.
I think the only thing we've done that's similar to that would be we actually went back and added back in characters that we didn't
Mhm.
have at first
Yeah,
because we
to make
wanted
it
to put
work.
in a secret organization.
Yeah,
Now, we mentioned the organization before, but we didn't really give them a face. We didn't,
yeah.
you know, it was just that background
Background.
thing back there. Well, we decided maybe we should give them faces. Maybe we should give them, you know, a character or two, the audience, a character or two
Flesh
that
them out
goes
a
with
little
this,
more.
flesh them
Yeah.
out. And we actually now they are actually in the prequel series and they're also in the regular series. Not yet, but they will be.
Yeah, you
So,
Dun,
hear
dun,
more of them.
dun.
and
So yeah.
there's also so that was part of the reason we had to revise book 1 and re-release because at first I fell into that. Hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, you shouldn't do that. Hey, you shouldn't do this. But once I had several readers come to me and say, you know, I kind of missed out on a scene. I was really hoping for a specific scene that never happened. And
Uh-huh.
I was kind of let down by that. It was more than
I
one
know what scene
person.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be honest.
If you don't know, you know.
My
So
daughter
we
was
added
like,
that back in there.
you cut out way too much of the good stuff.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yep.
Yeah. So I
But
was like,
you live and you learn, and so that kinda goes back with the advice too. It's like, do it your way. Do it how you saw it and how you felt like it was right. And if people are being naysayers or you get kind of worried about it, sometimes you just need to go, "You know what? I'm doing it," and just leave it. So you don't have to go back and re-edit everything.
well, my only thing is it, I look at it this way. You have to think about it. Are you gonna do something to the point where you're gonna regret? You know, because if you cut out and you look at it and you go, am I doing this because people want me to do it? Is this the way I want to do it? Or,
That
am I
I
doing it
didn't
to
want to do it.
please, yeah, am I doing it to please myself or am I doing it to please these other people? That's the way I look at it,
Know your audience as
you know,
part of that as well,
right.
Yeah.
too,
You
because the
gotta
people
you gotta
who
please both sides,
right,
please yourself as well as please your other people. So,
and the people who will want to read it will just flock to it eventually
oh yeah,
anyway, if that's the
Mhm.
case.
you gotta
And
find
that's what we're
So
that
finding.
balance, I think.
So with the book that's coming out in a couple of months and whatnot, do you have other things you're excited about? Because you have a book launch when?
We don't have a date set yet because if anything, last year taught me not to set a date
Understood.
specifically until I'm closer. But we're hoping to get it done. What I really hope to do is have it released so that I can have it at the not book fair, the Ren Fair. We're going to the Eastern North Carolina Ren Fair, and I would really love to have it there on the table with me. So that would be mid-April. I'm hoping that it's done by late March, but it depends on all, how it goes. Beta readers,
Enough time to
getting
get
it
it to
done.
printer.
Enough time to get it done. Yeah, everything needs to be done. So that's what I'm hoping. I really loved the scenes. I mean, I hate to say this, but I say it to Tina all the time. As much as I love Gabriel and Sidious, yeah, she knows what I'm about to say. That book with Sebastian and Sidious was just amazing for me. There are some scenes that are so tender that you're just like, these two people could kill people like in a snap of a finger, but they're so tender to each other. So it's just like,
Well,
ugh.
I'm going to be honest. My daughter is so team Sebastian and Sidious. She gets so upset every time she says, I can't believe they're not together, Mom. And I tell her, well, you don't understand. You have to read the series. You just don't get it. She's like, I'm so mad at you. I tell her, you sound like Twilight, Team Edward, Team
I was
Cullen.
gonna say there's merch in there somewhere.
Yeah.
She's like,
Are
I'm
you
so
Team
team.
Bastion or Team
Yeah.
Gabriel? I don't
She's
know.
like, I'm so Team Bastion.
She's not alone. We are a silent army. She's not alone.
She's like, I'm a bad guy kind of girl because I love Bastion.
You wrote them good. You wrote them good. So, other than looking forward to that book, there's other places you can find them about the internets, including Rachel often does sprints, and you're part of a couple of other communities, including On the Wings for Writers. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
I'm part of Heart Breathings as far as being a member is concerned. Supporter. That was Sarah was the her programs helped me get this going in a fashion that actually got me to publish the books instead of just continuing on this merry-go-round of constantly wanting to but not getting to it. So that's where I started, and then On the Wings for Writers, also a wonderful group. They're constantly sharing material with each other and updates and resources. So that's been fantastic. The author tuber community is in uh, that was a wonderful find. I was like, I'm just being introduced to all these different people that
That's
they
how we
have new
met.
knowledge. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh wow, um, I I had a list of people, but I'm just like, there's so many people to mention. It's difficult to mention everybody. Everybody has helped a little bit here and there. From even from people that just come on the stream and they're like, "Hey, this has been fun. I'm really glad that you're here," and that just warms your heart. So you're just like, "Oh, okay, so I'll keep doing it then."
And it goes for some of us, we're not just showing up for our readers, we're showing up for each other, we're showing up for fellow writers too. So thank you both for spending this time with me today. We need a part 2, ladies and gentlemen. We are running out of time. We have way more questions, and I'd rather have a part 2 option post the book coming out here in a couple of months so we can see how things go and get more time with you both as co-authors. Thank you for spending some time with me this evening.
Yes,
And I can't
ma'am.
wait to have
You're
you visit
welcome.
again. So we like to sign off a little bit before I end recording here with a little reminder of take care of yourselves, everybody. We know you're all worth it. Bye. Thank you for being here.